God asks us to surrender, and He asks us to open up our hands. When we open up our hands, not only do we give Him what we have, but He can give us what He has. And there's this beautiful exchange that goes on. It's like us giving God the gift of us, and Him giving us the gift of Him. And He's a really good gift. He's a really good leader. He's a really good encourager. And He's a really good Father. There's this idea that I love in C.S. Lewis's Narnia. And it happens when people encounter Aslan, the lion, for the first time. And in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the children ask, "Is Aslan safe?" And the beaver replies, "Of course he's not safe, but he's good." And again in The Silver Chair, Jill sees Aslan for the first time. And she says, "Do you promise not to do anything to me if I come close to you?" And Aslan replies, "I make no such promise, but you must come." And this illustrates for me a little bit about the life of faith. When we enter a relationship with God, He never promises that life is going to be magical or even easy. But He promises it's going to be an adventure that's exciting, and better yet, one that He goes with us on all of our life. I found that with God, He fills us and He meets us. He meets us where we're at. And a lot of times, He just asks us to trust Him. Jill had to trust Aslan that he wouldn't hurt her when she came to him, and he didn't. He gave her a mission and a purpose. And I feel like that's what God does with my life and with our lives. He gives us a mission and a purpose. There's a figure in the Bible, his name's Abraham. You might have heard of him. God called him to leave everything that was comfortable, leave his neighborhood, and to go to a land that was far away. He had to travel for many, many years, taking everything he had with him. And God didn't even tell him his destination. He didn't know what the end of the ride would be. But He asked him to trust Him. He asked him to surrender the plans to Him. Think back to the last friend that you got to know. At the beginning, you did simple things together, trivial things. You got to trust that person, and after a while, you know them very well. They can call you on the phone, and they hardly have to breathe, and you know it's their voice. God's like that. At first, we take little steps of trust as we get to know Him, but after we know Him, sometimes He asks us to make big jumps of faith. And it's not always easy. It's an adventure. That's the point. Life's not meant to be boring. And it's not meant to be safe. There's adventure to be lived. Surrender for me means putting my life in God's hands and putting my future in God's hands. And it is scary, I'm not gonna lie. But God is good, and He's never let me down. Something that I have to acknowledge as I'm in relationship with God is that He can see things that I can't see. And He knows things that I don't yet know or may never know. He's mysterious, and I get to spend my life exploring more of Him and getting to know Him more. But I'm never going to fully understand Him, and I'm not ever going to fully understand all the decisions that He makes that I can't make. Something I can trust is that He knows me better than I know myself, and that He has ideas for my life that are better than any that I could have come up with on my own. And so that's part of why I trust God so much. I trust Him because He hasn't let me down, and I trust Him because I know that his ways are better than my ways, and his wisdom is better than my wisdom. And so every day, my job is to say, God, I trust you. I trust you with my today, I trust you with my tomorrow, and I trust you with the day after that. So God, I surrender my life to you.